Just on his quarter. Hancock. Swinging right arm there. Penalty to Queensland. Punches thrown. A little bit of a melee taking place here. Both sets of forwards come charging in. Ray Price has got a Queenslander by the back, pulling him out of it. Just a little as Les Boyd. He slips and falls again for the second time. Right on the halfway line. And there's a little bit of an altercation between Boyd and Dowling, I think it is. The play goes on, touch judges in. Boyd and Dowling both may get sin binned out of this. It's on for young and old there with these two. They just plain dislike each other by the look of it.
Meninga, line side. The big fella made 10 metres. Now Broman. Oh, and a penalty to Queensland. That'll be against an elbow used in that tackle. Les Boyd the offender. Watch it. Oh. Elbow to the side of the face.
Prilich. They put it down again, New South Wales, though, so they can't afford to do that with this side. There's a good break again from Wally Lewis. Makes another raid downfield almost to the 22. Plays it back to Murray. Canescu. The runners are coming for Queensland. There's Arthur Beetson, still a concerned look on his face. And Les Boyd is off. Sent Les Boyd off. 10 minutes in the sin bin, Les Boyd. Well, Les Boyd, 10 minutes in the sin bin. He's had a fiery start. Watch the incident. There it goes. Oh, the big swinging arm from Boyd, and that's the second time he's been caught. Oh, straight over the head of Needling. Died there at 22 as Lewis crashes into the defence. Oh, that's on. It's on. Punches being thrown. Canescu in there. Boyd pushing him off. An unusual role for Boyd.
Getting to the quarter line before he's put down by Barra. Dean Miles is looking to kick, but the New South Wales defence warming in. That's already on. Punches being thrown from everybody. That's Chris Close in there. Brett Kenny's involved as well on the ground as Brett Canescu. Ray Price, all trading blows. Well, Jack Gibson, what an explosive start to this match.
They advertised it early in the week, this situation would happen.
Well, the referees allowed it to go on. Chris Close has lost his jumper. Fireworks falling from the sky. What a start to this State of Origin match. Barry Gomersall has often been quoted as saying that he's here to referee the game, not a fight. But who's going to stop the fight?
Ray Price.
Just inside Queensland territory, and again, New South Wales putting it down. In fact, it was Rampling who put it down and gets a punch. And under the punch on already. Well, he doesn't waste anything getting involved, does he? Lewis threw the ball at him, and it was Rampling who retaliated. Well, he's only been on a few seconds. Pushing and shoving.
Final provincial game before the final two test matches. Great Britain received their first taste of New Zealand rugby's harder side during the opening moments of their game against Auckland. It set the mood for the rest of the match.
Betts is not happy. The referee's in there. Oh, real flare up here by Gregory throwing punches. Tomavavi in there with a right as well. Bit of a messy scene there.
The referee's very game right in the middle of it. He must have copped one himself nearly.
Two skippers here.
Here from Peter Ripati.
On the quarter line, his own territory. Oh, good dummy from dummy half. There's Martin Dermott now. And there's more.
It's on again in a big way here.
Back here, it's Kelvin Skerritt in there. Dennis Betts throwing punches on Tony Tomavavi while he's being held.
This is the worst fight of the game. This is worse than the ones earlier on.
Get out.
Tony Tomavavi's the one who went berserk. The linesman couldn't report to him who the Auckland player was who was in the fight. We could all see pretty clearly up here.
Okay, this is Skerritt taking plenty of Auckland defenders. Now it's the Aucklanders well and truly fired up on defence. Good run from Dermot from dummy half, but eventually the guy 12 points to 8. Scare it out to Dennis Betts. He's got his hands free. Gets it out to Roy Powell. But Mann is over there with Galbraith. And now here's a penalty to Great Britain.
There it goes again.
Everywhere over there now. They're actually chasing each other. This is absolutely ridiculous. Okay.
This is disgraceful. Absolutely disgraceful.
Now, really, if Ken Blackler is any sort of referee and the touch judges are doing their job, they're going to have to sort this out now. Well, here we go again. The referee's talking to both skippers. He's spoken to them about 5 or 6 times that I can remember. I think it's time for someone to have a bit of a spell in the Sinbin at least.
Yours is in the bin for 5 minutes. The penalty goes to Great Britain. That's the line-up I was report, all right? 5 minutes. Right? Number 7.
Blackler's going to put Galbraith in the bin for 5 minutes, and Gregory does not think that's good enough.
Lomax, he's held up.
That's a very good run from John Lomax, and standing in a tackle offloading Morgan. But it's good play by Wellington. They're looking very good these last couple of minutes, Greg.
The 5th tackle. Harvey. It's a 5th tackle, but it's a penalty. Harvey throwing some punches in there. A flare-up of the base of reserve. Gary Harvey wasn't happy about being held on to by one of the Great Britain players.
Gallagher putting the kick in. Oh, well taken by Tony Myler. Good hands. David Hume. Now then, he's got a fire on this outside. Oh, it's Devereux. Devereux cuts inside. Now then, he's going himself. Can he be Roy Powell? Jonathan Davis. Oh, he misses it. And there's a fire. Now then, what's Bentley doing? The silly man. No need for that whatsoever. The fire was tackled, and I'm sure that John Bentley lost his head there. Martin of Fire, badly injured, and Bentley is coming off the field.
But Ray, I cannot believe that a man can give a yellow card for an incident which John Bentley, a very, very silly thing indeed, in Martin of Fire. Now watch what happens here. Martin of Fire nowhere near the ball. Watch John Bentley. As the ball is picked up here, John Bentley obviously very, I think Mike Tyson would have been very proud of that.
Well, I can't see how he just gets a yellow card, Alec. I agree with you. That was a sending off.
Well, especially when rugby league videos are now looked at by the rugby league, and surely that must have come under the microscope.
As the snow comes down here, down, and Andy Corrier, he's got it again. And there's the difference. When you're down to 12 men, the gaps come on the outside to a side-like witness, and something very similar score here. Just 3 minutes left. Needs the long ball. They have it. Schofield. Even longer ball. Gallagher can't take it. Well, if that's the cold spray, it's certainly waking David Hume up.
I think what we've got to think about in these games is when you start playing in cup ties and the high-quality football that's being served up. It's absolutely freezing out there, but Widnes are using this ball as though it's red hot.
Young Stuart Spruce coming away, another one of these talented youngsters, and there's another punch from Paul Dixon. Silly, and Dixon is off the field. Again, more indiscipline from Leeds. No need for it whatsoever. So that's Leeds now reduced to 11 men as Paul Dixon is sent off. No Sinbin this time. He was warned by Mr. Colchester for the first punch, and then the second punch, I think, in frustration.
What a silly boy indeed. Paul Dixon, an international player. There is absolutely no need for that. And I think when the coach gets in, he should have a look at this guy's wages, because that is bad. Very, very bad indeed. And I think not only should he be sent off, but when David Wall gets in, he should be looked at very seriously. The crowd are cheering a little bit here because they thought that the Leeds player was offside, but you cannot be offside when you stood behind your own line.
Dixon coming away, 20 minutes left. A tremendous run from Dixon there. And we've got a stoppage in play. Tempers really rising now. A little bout of fisticuffs between Kurt Sorensen and the Leeds gentleman. Eddie MacDonald there, the chief scout for Widnes, bringing Sorensen away. And really neither side want to get themselves involved in this. And a punch there, yes.
Well,
Kickable chance, is it?
We have here now that this is the incident. There's an incident off the ball there. Kurt Sorensen's the man. The tackles, there it is. And I thought that penalty should have gone to Leeds. Kurt Sorensen was the first man to strike the ball.
Well, Leeds very, very aggrieved at that. Very aggrieved. Sorensen charging in now. And I don't think it's minus 10 degrees out there at the moment. I think it's white hot. Especially amongst these forwards. Faimalo. Just the 2 points difference between the sides. 8 points to 6 for Widnes.
To pieces and takes the tackle.
Well done there by O'Fire. That was bouncing down on him.
This is the last tackle. Connolly trying to get out of trouble. Gary Connolly. Connolly eventually has to take the tackle. Oh, there's a real blue on now. They're all getting involved. On the boil. It's been simmering away from the very first whistle. Howie Tamati, the Kiwi coach, watching. They weren't happy with the challenge on Gary Connolly.
Area. Bella again. Front.
Oh,
Three of them got him.
Harrigan got him that time, didn't miss him.
That's hurt him. Bella's sick. Bella's unhealthy. Well, what a tackle. That was a gang tackle. Three of them got him. Tooby. Oh! Jones and Marquette came together. Look at this tackle. Cruncho, Harrigan, Sargent, Glanville.
Right, I'll tell you what, the Newcastle pack are the toughest pack just about in the game. They won't be out-muscled, I'll give you that tip.
Got him. Got him. By the 22 line. Oh,
It was high. It was Mario Fennick and will be called out. Very high tackle on the centre. Ian McCann, he hasn't moved. A few people getting a little bit frustrated in there. Gavin Jones. The referee's seen the tackle.
He set him off.
He's gone.
Mario Fennick has been set off. 3 minutes into the game. Well, let's have a look at it again. McCann is a very tall man. Mario Fennick has been set off again on the head-on for you.
Well, it was high. It was around the neck. Certainly the momentum of McCann didn't help Mario Fennick. The legs went out.
So young Ian McCann stretchered from the ground. Mario Fennick sent off for a high tackle 3 minutes into the game. Gary Jack.
So I'm sure we'll see the chip over the top taken as an option by Balmain at some stage during the game. Jason Martin forced to play in the line much more than normally. Well, there's another high tackle. And this player's gone as well.
Well,
McPhail.
another North Sydney player has been sent off. It's McPhail. Peter McPhail has also been sent off by Graham Annesley. North Sydney down to 11 now. Here's the hit on Ed Mann, right around the chin.
Well, it was even higher than the chin, Ray. That one got him flush across the nose. You see a better view of here. McPhail going high, leaving the ground. Oh, That is head high. It is dangerous. Incident where the ball was actually towed through. No advantage played. He's put his shoulder out there, reaching down for the football. I know how he feels. That it's certainly very suspect.
Hello! The scrum has erupted. A couple of the big fellows coming together. Langer picked it up on the half volley. Now Kevin Walters. He's on the merry-go-round and down he goes. No gain in ground. He's hurt.
Yeah, he's going to be hurt there. He swung right round into a St George defensive player coming through. It was a nasty accident there, and that's exactly what it was. And we'll see, he's swinging around. Michael Beattie, again, the play coming through. He's taken his knee.
Oh, has he ever?
He's from another angle, looking for support. Decides not to throw the tackle, and very unfortunate to take Michael Beattie's knee right with his head.
Very heavy knock on Kevin Walters, and as you can see, he's very groggy. Heavily concussed in the tackle.
Running up as Martin Villa goes in, and there was some high stuff there too, but he got under that. A little bit of rubbish early on. Jackson goes hard. The Blues come and he gets it away for Larson, but the Blues fall on the ball. A bit of push and shove in the background, but nothing on. Clyde plays it back now. Gets it straight up to Lazarus. He goes straight and hard for only 4. Elias in it, acting half. Gets it on for Harrigan. Harrigan belts it down with some big defence from Queensland.
Man he beat was Kenny Walters. Kenny won't let that happen again.
Trevor Gilmeister, the axe getting axed here at the Sydney Football Stadium. Now the big men bring up Jackson. Plates one out. Queensland just running around. They don't seem to have too much idea of spinning the ball at the moment. They're just passing it in nice and short and keeping it hard. And down they've gone and they're hurt.
2-metre line, a great attacking opportunity.
Great attacking opportunity. You're right, Peter Sterling. Oh, big tackle too on Lazarus. Phil Gould, no emotion at the moment, the coach. First time in Sheridan. Oh, Sheridan's been at his best tonight. He's rough and tumble all night. Roughing them up and making some big tough yards down the centre. Cartwright, nice ball. Beautiful for Clyde! Clyde! Oh, they're in! The Blues draw first blood. Gillespie's up in the dressing ground and Clyde's over the line. Hey!
Salvatore taking it up to Penrith. Every set of 6 he gets involved. Now, let's have a look at this.
Well, it's Salvatore once again. He's been sent off. Craig Salvatore sent from the field. Eastern Suburbs in possession of the football.
Well, Brett Boyd got up and looked amazed that the player would be sent off.
Well, let's have a look at the incident now. Boyd all over Salvatore. Plays the football, gets up, and there's the headbutt. That's a send-off offence. Look how wide Laurie Daly is standing from the scrum.
Oh, Vandervoort was a mile offside. He got out of the scrum and he was standing alongside the Canberra front row.
Well, here's Ricky Stewart. He's blowing up.
It's one against the head. Meninga flicks it out the back for Furner. Daly. Gale.
Now, coming in from the Reds. They're just belting in as hard as they can. New South Wales through Sheridan. Sheridan gets wrapped up and put down. Only 10 minutes out and they're in. It's on. State of Origin has picked up where it normally leaves off. A bit of push and shove. Nothing too serious in that at all.
Well, the boy's getting a little bit carried away. Martin Bella throwing a little left there, keeping it going.
Bella and Clyde. Well, Bella's been fuming over the decision of Harrigan, saying no try.
Well, it's not up to him to fume, Darryl. They've got to go to the left.
First use of the ball. They decide to return it straight away through Shearer. Shades of Lang Park. New South Wales. Oh, a big hit from Shearer as he came through too.
The control has been only reasonable from both teams there. Well, what about that for hit? Paul Harrigan hasn't moved.
Harrigan just not flat. With a big shoulder charge there. Watch this. That was the 5th tackle. Watch Harrigan. Bang. Thank you from Allen. Hit the deck and didn't move. Harrigan still down, playing on the ground. The ball bouncing deep in Queensland's territory. Will it find the line? Yes, it does. Harrigan still hasn't moved. Now he gets up. He has no idea he is at this stage. Have a look at the look on his face.
He caught a stray boot while it was going down on the tackle about 2 minutes earlier.
But we've had 8.5 minutes. There's a high one.
At Brisbane, when the British players really did stick it into the Australian.
Langer again. Always danger when the little man gets hold of it. But O'Fire had funneled back, and he fancies taking them on, and he's through. He's through Wishart. This man's a real danger. Oh, what a great run. O'Fire down the touchline. Ettinghausen, try-saving tackle. Oh, so is that. Oh, quick hands, Wishart. And good support from Jackson over the top to the captain, Meninga. Meninga inside to Gillespie. O'Fire's after him, and he manages to stop him, but still the movement goes. Meninga still in possession. Meninga, try! He's just slowing it down at the play the ball to their own pace. That's Paul Harrigan under the challenge from Clark, and Harrigan has received a bang. Gets up, plays the ball. Langer, Jackson. Oh, Daly dances away from Dermott, and Meninga. Ball fed inside to Clyde. He's through Crooks. Crooks has gone down. Try! Try for Meninga. They're right on the British line. Sirenan's the dummy half. He's going alone. He scored the try.
2 chances. They were quick to pull, and that was a high one. Oh, dearie me. Harrigan just went right in there. Lucas caught the full brunt of that, and this could get nasty.
And Lucas flat out, but the referee wants Great Britain to get play moving again. He's unimpressed. Gregory didn't like the look of this.
I'll tell you something, neither did Lucas. That was a heavy shot.
Halfback, Schofield. Not the best pass in the world, Gregory. Neither was that. Well picked up, that was, by Andy Platt. But Great Britain have gone from the Australian line to the 22. Schofield, now Lydon. Lydon kicking ahead. Lydon collects. Lydon try. It's to 6, and there's Lucas. Well, he doesn't look in too good a shape, does he?
And I'm not surprised. Where was the sin bin? Where was the send-off? The referee gave the penalty.
Tough, rough battle, this. Great support play, though. Mackay has come on. The fresh legs, that's the last thing Great Britain need to see. Having to play out with 12. Langer, long pass out to Daly. Quick hands to Bradley Clyde. Can Great Britain keep Hancock out? No. Hancock scores. It's the last one on this set of 6. Cross with the kick ahead. Graham Hallis collects it. Good work from Hallis. Oh, what a run this is from Hallis. He's heading up down the touchline. McGregor's in pursuit. This is a try. He scored.
To get through them.
Here comes Platt on a run. Almost through.
Oh, there's a fight there. Harrigan's lost his cool, so has Dermott.
Well, a lot of bad blood between Harrigan and the British, and there's still punches being thrown. Remember, it was the tackle by Harrigan on Ian Lucas that meant the end of Lucas's tour. He went...
We've got on the run now.
Britain in possession from the scrum with Schofield. Meninga tackling him, helped out by Bradley Clyde. This now is Philip Clark. This fella puts the tackle. Oh, try, Great Britain! Running strongly. Good tackling, though. Schofield gets the ball back. Had to play the ball. Raked it back with the foot, dropped on it. The Aussies have done that a couple of times. Britain have now replied with one from Schofield. Here it is.
And Hancock not feeling too good. There you can see he's holding his head there. He caught a stray boot, I think. Things really going well for the British boys.
Dennis Betts again. Came over here with such a reputation, did Dennis Betts. Now Dermot, he came with a big shout as well. Edwards stepping beautifully. Little chip ahead. They know the speedster. A fire is there. A fire! Oh, have they scored? They have! Will Dennis Hale give it? It's McGinty, I think. It's a try anyway.
So far, they've not panicked. They've kept their cool. And now Australia have to play catch-up football.
We know how strong they can come into it, though. Wishart with that run. Oh, and they're making mistakes, and it's allowing Great Britain in. And there is what the whistle's blown in Sydney. Bradley Clyde. Penalty Australia. Referee did not.
There it is. It was pretty high. A little bit of lack of discipline again.
Here's more from Langer. Hacks it deep downfield. Steadman taking his time, watching it carefully. That's great running from Steadman. That's brilliant running and also great tackling from Langer. Good rugby league on both sides.
Excellent step. But that was a lovely kick and chase by... Oh, and they've rigged it back. And there's a fight.
Powell a bit slow, and there's the fight again. It's Dermot and it's Walters, the two hookers. Well, Dennis Hale will take a report from his touch judge. Tempers will have to be cooled. There's so much at stake.
Well, he lost his cool there, did Dermot. He swung a right. He was the first into it. He gets a good shot in later. Not bad for a man who's having problems with his thumb.
He's shoulder by Willie Kahn. Powell is left in his wake. Paul Hume is there. Hume, who's like the kangaroo, he'll never take a backward step. Paul Hume.
Good tackle by Hume there, but we're still missing tackles in the interim because that kick over. Willie Kahn, he read it well. Schofield, he knew he was going to kick deep. Bit of time wasting, I feel, here. But really, Eddie, the difference between the two sides is that Alan Langer and Laurie Daly, especially in the kicking department, Langer has controlled things out there. His 37th test for Australia.
A fire. Hauled to the floor by the collar by Fittler, but then a fire not being allowed to get to his feet. And there's a bit of a blue on between Hancock and Fire and Eastwood and Lazarus.
Intense football. High. Steve Roach will bring us up to date shortly, but there's no doubt that
there's a blue on the background.
So a big stink on over on the other side of the ground. Harrigan and Bella having a go at it. Standing there, trading one.
Go, boys.
For one. Nothing wrong with that. Two big men having a go. Flying off a bit of speed. Now it's a bit in the background. Walters and Elias.
There's a couple of blokes don't like each other. Now they're into it. Walters and Elias.
It's on now. It's on. Look at Bella. Look at the eyes of Bella. Oh, fired up. Big Barney. The chief says if you want to go, I'll go with you.
Well, I respect Martin's courage, but he's picked the wrong man, hasn't he?
Oh, dear,
if you're going to have a choice there, he's the last man in line, Paul Harrigan.
Well, both of them in a dark lane. No thanks. Elias and Walters were hard at it.
Yeah, a couple of personal things coming out in that one. We saw the two hookers come together. It's well known. Not a great deal of love lost between Elias and Walters. But Bella and Harrigan were the two that were going at it first off.
Look at Lazarus and Langer. They talk about teammates. This is amazing, isn't it? I mean, you know, mate against mate, state against state. It's a great example there.
I was just about to say, with Gillespie warming up, there's no doubt he will be the man to come off, Paul Harrigan.
They're gone. Well, that was the second blue. That was the second one that started. And they've got 10 apiece.
Gene or Blocker, any idea how it started over there?
I don't know how it started, but Marty's barking up the wrong tree. If he wants to take on Paul Harrigan, he can fight.
Well, you think that they'd have to got 10 minutes as well here. We're probably going to have a soccer game in a minute, 11 against 11.
Well, Greg McCallum, you can see him laying the law down. He's now calling over Mal Meninga. So the two captains, I'd say, he's calling in to settle them down. Look at Val Vista fired up.
And the referee has not called time out for this. The clock is still running. Let's have a look at the far side. The scrum erupts. Nothing thrown as yet.
Well,
A little one, but Harrigan replied in kind.
And Bella's got 10, and you'd like to be, if you're a betting man, you'd say Harrigan will get 10 as well, and he has.
So Martin, Bella and Harrigan 10 apiece. We're down to 11-man squad now. Harrigan,
We say, and Paul Harrigan certainly the reach and the height advantage.
here's the hookers. Lucas Gilly trying to get Elias out of the way.
They weren't floating like butterflies or stinging like bees, really, were they?
And good to see the little halfbacks involved in there as well.
Heads at Leeds last weekend. A few sorry seconds. The game itself, the real loser. The game had some dirty linen to wash. The clean-up campaign struck back at Shane Cooper and Paul Moriarty. An 8-game suspension for Moriarty's mad moment. Rugby League doesn't want another week like that for a while. Still not.
Yes, it's going reasonably well, Clive, at the moment. We can do another 6 points. Pete Davis is looking good at full-back for his first game. Is Sorensen setting the game alight in the forwards?
1-2 setting the game alight at the moment. What about the general level of defence on the two sides at the moment, Doug?
Pretty good, Clive, I think. I think both are working very hard. And it's a bit of a tight game, but there's also some very good football being played.
Doug Lawton, whose side lead by 12 points to 6. Jerry Kershaw just sorting out another problem with the help of his touch judge, Tony Brown. And Castleford have got the penalty. Captain's entitled to inquire what's going through the referee's mind. Kurt Sorensen not bothering.
Well, I think the touch judge got it right that time. I think Grimmer was the first aggressor there.
Stedman. Well collected by Hugh. Davis again. He is looking good, isn't he? That was a good tackle, though, by Gary French. He hasn't finished it yet. He doesn't mind the little ones. It's when the big ones do that.
Well, didn't Gary French ruin a very good tackle there? He read Davies' step very well for the first time. He hasn't hurt Jonathan at all. Jonathan's having a good smile about it. It's a great tackle. He really sunk his shoulder in. A classic tackle. And then spoils it by jumping up and swinging his arm. Just a bit over-aggressive.
David Hugh. Mike O'Neill. A bit of needle there at the moment. Rivers lost it. Oh dear, now that was unnecessary, and here we go. Well, it's been boiling up. But this sort of thing just can't happen. It can't be allowed to happen.
A lot of players have just run into that, and they've really done nothing. It looks a bit ugly when players run in, I know, but I don't think there's been a punch thrown there, perhaps with the exception of Grimmer. And Mr. Kershaw's dealt with him.
Grimmer's going to the sin bin for 10 minutes.
Or the halfway line, I should say. Jackson will assume a lot of the kicking responsibilities tonight, but that one is straight to bottom.
I think that's going to be an error in Australia's play if they can find all of the kicking. That was a heavy tackle.
He's been called out. Here we go. It was Laurie Daly over the top. Krakens there trying to reef him away, and there is a penalty. Holdsworth had no hesitation. Gillespie is being called out. Well, there could be trouble now, and there is. One of the Kiwis has been felled. McCracken and Jackson throwing punches. You can see Jackson heavily involved in the middle of this. McCracken being dragged away from it, and all 26 players have rushed to the centre of the field. It's taken a little bit longer to blow up than we expected. We're now 27 minutes into this match. Holdsworth has picked out who he believes, and he has sent someone off. Who is he pointing to? He's pointing to the Australian 5'8", Peter Jackson. Well, this is a sensation. He has sent Peter Jackson from the field.
And would you believe that the New Zealand halfback seems to be all disappointed about it?
Well, Meninga is emotional. He is pleading with Holdsworth, but he is not going to revoke this decision. he had no hesitation in sending a very, very dejected Peter Jackson from the field.
There's a stunning decision. It's going to be interesting. I think what he's set him off for is that Jackson's become the third man involved. He's come running into the fight.
Well, that was Watson's tackle on Wishart, a high tackle.
It was high to Watson.
And then Jackson rushes over now. Watch Jackson come in.
And McCracken's left the field as well. I'm not sure whether he's been sent off, Pat, or he's been given time in the bin, but he's just left and walked up the tunnel as well.
Watson is being spoken to for the high tackle. A penalty to Australia. Well, here it is again. Set play. Wishart into the line. Watson high. Now watch Jackson. Here comes Jackson. Well, it was a simple shove in the back. Then a fight ensured. Well, Jackson has been sent off.
Well, it's been a rule in Sydney for a long time now in international football. If the third man comes in and precipitates a brawl, then he's justified in being sent from the field.
Well, a long, lonely walk for Peter Jackson, who was so looking forward to this match. As in a dummy half, the long ball to Daly. Daly over the top. He cut out two players for Salvatore. This could be a try on again. If he can unload, he can to Wishart. Wishart only has one man to beat. He's struggling. He wasn't held down. That is a try, says referee John Holdsworth. It's a great try and a great way to start the second half.
Well, Wishart clearly hurt in that tackle as well. He was hit across the forehead.
But he'll be happy when he looks to the scoreboard, because Australia are leading 24 points to 0. And that was a crucial try. This second half only 3 minutes old. He's up to his feet now.
Once again, Dyer instrumental, managing to stand in the tackle out wide. And Wishart, once again, he defies logic, this bloke. Somebody so small is tremendously strong, managing to stretch out over the line, of course, not being held.
Bruno Bodigaroy was the man left to make that last-ditch tackle.
Well, we can see Wishart there making that extra little bit of cross, and he copped a right hand from Lonergan, who came across and hit him across the top of the head.
From head on, there's those tremendous long balls that the Australians have been throwing out wide. Dyer dummy again, drawing two defenders into Wishart on the charge. Knocked over, but not effectively held. He was effectively held after he put the ball down for 4 points.
Well, there's Alan Langer too, bleeding profusely from a cut on the nose. Bob Fulton's got a good lead. He's got men who he can use as replacements. Des Hasler, of course, a very experienced halfback. Here, of course, is a straight-out case of a blood bin.
But it looks like an emergency room down on the sideline at the moment, with Wishart receiving treatment, and so too Alan Langer. The Australian support staff working overtime to keep their troops. Here's Wishart. Oh, he's copped a bad one right underneath the eye. Have a look at that. It's blown up so quickly, only 30 or 40 seconds after that try. Meantime, Meninga has it set just outside the quarter line, 10 metres in from touch. He struck it pretty well. Just misses to the left-hand side. That's the first one he's missed tonight.
Clock. Eyeball to eyeball. Pickering is there. All the big men. They all come to the aid of the party, don't they?
They certainly do. You haven't seen much of the big forward, Harvey Howard. There you see a bit of a tit-for-tat. Swinging in. I'll have a piece of the action. I don't think I'd be involved with one or two of the fellas in there.
From by Mann. He's only touched the ball twice. And Mann is walking a very thin tightrope here.
He's told him, anything more you've got. But what's wrong with the sin bin? Get him to the sin bin, give him 10.
All about this. Part in this. And that is a terrible blow. Meanwhile, Tate dabs the ball along the line. Oh! Oh, dear! Tate collided.
Right with the corner.
The corner post there, the concrete.
Oh,
Bloom.
dearie me.
Bloom
Tate
comes across here.
Oh, this is tragic. You could see that Bloom would make no attempt to get it, and he collides to the back of the head. Oh, that has to be padded from here on in. Too late for Tate, though.
Mann. Now he gives it to Cummins. Cummins long ball, Holroyd. Short pass, Tate. Pennant's there again.
Oh, there's play in the background. One of the players, Leeds players, was taken out without the football. It was Kevin Iro, I think.
The touch judge was on very, very quickly.
It really was crunch time, and I think it's the hooker, Sonny Wakaru, who's the culprit. No, it's oh, dearie me, that is vicious. John Ellis it was. He just went with the elbow.
In the move that led up to that try.
Oh, that's a swinging arm. This is going to get really bad. The touch judge is down. They're all in.
They're all involved.
Keep the crowd over the fence, please. They're losing the cool. It's been bubbling all the game. Now the touch judge is down again. Drew Farrell running out wide in the centres.
Clark. Oh, the high, it most certainly was. Harvey Howard.
This will be interesting, won't it? The forearm straight above the shoulder. The big prop forward, Harvey Howard, already had a little lecture from Russell Smith. What's going to happen now?
Bill Clark nods and says, yeah, I'm all right.
He cocked it back like a Colt 45 and wham. That could put out a star player.
As we've seen,
wasn't the best pass, but it's all panic stuff, I'm afraid, from Featherstone.
And there is...
It's on. Newlove was taken out late. He was taken out very late indeed. Bourneville turned round, came round and smacked him. He is out cold. Newlove had just passed the ball a split second before and crunch. I couldn't quite see who it was.
But Bourneville certainly did, and he turned round, and that's when it all started. And there's something here for the referee to sort out.
There it is. There it comes in. It comes out of the side. Oh, crunch time. It's Courier. What is the split-second timing? That was late. Oh. Well, you can see Bourneville getting involved. To the post office road.
High. The arm was up. And there's an Oldham man flat out. It's the use of the elbow. Oh, on Crompton. He felt that. Well, if Steve-O was here now, he'd be saying we can do without that. Here's Timu running strongly. Woof, bang. That's a legal challenge by Perolini, but Timu didn't like it, and it looks like he's going. The referee's gone to the pocket. I think that Perolini's on his way. I said it was legal. It's red, and Perolini's gone for a swinging arm. Timu didn't like it. Let's take another look. Well, it was high, but was Timu ducking down? Was his head down? Was he going under the challenge? He's off.
He's certainly gone in low. He took the ball up and ducked in. I think he's been a bit unlucky there as Perolini to be sent off. It certainly wasn't a malicious tackle. Well, they just got let off the hook there, Oldham. And as we said before, you know, they've been their own worst enemy in this last 5 minutes.
Nicol, and there's going to the pocket again is Russell Smith. Nicol could be walking here. Red card, Nicol. He's off. St Helens lose 2 men in this match. Sent off by referee Russell Smith.
Well, this tackle here, Sonny Nicol.
Well, we've said it all along. We can do without these tackles.
Oh, that was right under the chin. And as soon as it came in, dearie, referee Russell Smith went for the pocket.
Wigan on the attack. Martin Hall driving forward. Clark. Edwards, Australia on the rack here at the moment. And is that a penalty? Mr. Campbell blew the whistle very, very quickly. Just checking his time, sorting the matter out. He's certainly going to have a word with somebody. He wants the clock stopping. Driving in just over the Australian 20-metre line. Good resistance. And the time stopped again. Mr. Campbell stopping the clock.
Should have charged here, though.
Barry McDermott went over the top, Mick Cassidy went a little bit high, and Barry came over the top of him, so that was a slightly high tackle, and I think the referee's going to call him out here exactly for that offence.
Well, here we see the Kangaroo, and it certainly leads with the elbow, does McDermott. Very similar to Kelvin Skerritt. Again, no need for that, and it looks to be Paul Sirenen. He's certainly in some difficulties there. And he's a big man who takes a powerful knock, but as he comes in here, he goes side on, and there we see that elbow. I'll be very, very surprised if McDermott isn't spoken to and dealt with by the referee.
That's frustration in the Wigan game. Frustration we don't normally see off this club team. You know, they're usually a very controlled side, and that was an aspect of the game we don't want to see. And I just hope that Paul Sirren's all right and returns to the field soon.
Well, he certainly looks to be in considerable difficulty. The Australian physiotherapist certainly wanting to take him off to have him looked at in the dressing room. A very nasty incident.
And Oldham are keeping on coming here, and Mike O'Neill came in with a swinging arm over the top as soon as fullback Wally Gibson received that. Oh,
he could go for this one, and he won't get any sympathy from me if he does. Premeditated crunch time. He knew that the fullback was chiming through on the inside.
You're right, it's a red card. O'Neill is sent off and adds to witnesses' problems.
Daly, Meninga, good ball to Clyde. He's got Ettingshausen also. Oh, that was a high tackle. That was a bad high tackle. Edwards reached inside, and Edwards is being sent off, I'm sure. Mr. Annesley, no hesitation, we're looking. Edwards just doesn't know, but the red card has gone in the air, and sensation here at Wembley. The skipper sent off in the first John Smith's test. No hesitation by referee Graham Annesley, but it looked a bad tackle. It was a high one. He came across, and Clyde is really injured. That was a bad knock. Well, disconsolate figure of Sean Edwards. He came across, he stuck that arm out. Clyde went down, and referee Annesley had no hesitation. Hardly an example to set to the many youngsters here.
You see the tackle here? Sean goes in very high on Brad Clyde there. It was a bad tackle. He never attempted to go low, and he's got his marching orders. But,
he almost jumps in, he does. He jumps into the tackle, doesn't he? As Clyde cuts inside.
His feet are 2 foot off the ground there.
Oh, that was a cruncher. And somebody caught that in the face, that shoulder from Meninga as he drove the ball in.
Oh, this really was an impact thing there. Looks like Devereux to me, that caught it fair and square, right on the chin. Oh, and a swinging arm has caught Moriarty. He's down. He caught a swinging arm from one of his own players. We've got Devereux down, we've got Moriarty down. Wales are down to 11 men and under a lot of pressure now.
And Ford did well then. He used the conditions perfectly. He slid in. And Ford and Wishart eyeballing each other. I don't think Ford particularly liked the challenge, but it was perfectly legal. But Ford used the... And look at the state of John Devereux. I was going to say, Ford used the conditions here at Ninian Park to perfection.
It doesn't look well. Blood bin for David Young, but the big shoulder of Mal Meninga. That's the result.
Yes. Wishart was high from Hadley.
Certainly was. Swinging right arm right over the top. Wishart felt it. Plunk. Oh, that's a bad one.
Langer, the touch judge is on the far side. It's another high tackle, I think, on Langer.
I think it was Hadley again. But Ford, he cocked the gun and didn't swing it. He thought about it. It's Hadley again. Well, a few seconds ago, we've just seen the referee, John Connolly, point to his pocket and say, if you do it again, well, first opportunity he has.
Walters again, Langer drops it, that will be a knock-on. And the tragic news from the dressing room is reaching us that John Devereux has a suspected fractured jaw. Meanwhile, there's an almighty fight in the middle of the field. This has been brewing and blowing since Devereux left. And there are fights all over the place. Well, this is quite disgraceful.
You could sense it. The feeling was running high. It was going to be on. There was players doing cheap shots in the background. It was only a matter of time. And I tell you what, the referee, John Connolly, has made a big mistake by not sending off one man. 2 tackles on the trot by Hadley. They were pretty bad, and I don't think the Aussies liked it. A lot of eyeball between these two sides, and it blew up. They lost the ball there.
There was a use of an elbow or something on Ellis, I think, by Sirenen, and Sirenen and Ellis got stuck into each other.
Sirenen used the elbow once, didn't connect, and then went in again, and it just all exploded. Somewhere in the background, Phil Ford is running around trying to find someone to hit. They're going berserk. This is disgraceful. Professional football, disgrace.
Anger the dummy. 10 metres out. We're in the last minute now as Conway. Oh, and there's a bit of a do between Gregory and Peaver. Touch judge was on immediately, and referee Russell Smith telling Robert Peaver to back off.
I'm going to Wally Lewis before this game.
Little knee there from Mr. Gregory.
And Peaver went after him and got a few in as well. Uh-oh, I'm going back, says Andy, but he'll have a go.
Smack, but they won't enjoy the scoreline. Here's Peaver, ball inside. It's the substitute Hurst, and Hurst's over.
Australia's turn to just have a touch of that ball. All the forwards will want to get a hold of it in these early stages. And offside. Oh, and there's trouble already. We don't want this in this game. I know that passions are high, but really, this is a disciplined game. It's a disciplined 80 minutes that both sides should be showing.
Part of the game here, Bobby Golding continued with the tackle after the referee had blown the whistle. And I think Dean Pay just put a little forearm into his face, and Bobby took exception to that.
Yeah, you don't need it at the start of the game. It's bad play from both teams, actually. They're all excited, the nerves are up, but that's not the way to play a game of rugby league. The team that settles down the best after this will probably be the team that can go on and maybe capitalise on this early in the game.
Great Britain have been penned in this half, Steve. They just don't seem to be able to get out.
They can't, because when they've had the ball, they've made too many mistakes. Like when Gary Schofield failed to find touch, it's on again.
And once again, this high tackling leading to scenes like this, scenes that don't do any good for the game. The touch judge is in there, Mr. Ward, Mr. Duckworth, doing the best to separate these big players, and McDermott having to be restrained by Steadman.
He went into the tackle, it was high. And then Walters took exception to it and followed in.
Yeah, that's another high tackle again from Barry McDermott, and the Australians naturally incensed by that sort of behaviour, but again we see Dean Pay there putting a punch or two in. Again, there's no need for players to join action like this.
It was bad from Barry McDermott and the high tackle, but there's no need for to retaliate like Steve Walters there. You don't have to do that. The referee will sort out who is going to penalise, who is not. I think, yeah, there's some sin bins now, and it's about time.
And McDermott, well, it looks to be sin bin. No card, red or yellow, has gone up in the air, but referee Annesley put both hands in the air, so McDermott, within seconds of coming on, leaves the field in disgrace.
Of course, had it come off, he would have been a hero.
It's on. And this came about from a tackle earlier Fogarty was far from happy with the tackle, and he's taking it out on him there. He ran toward the referee, Russell Smith, during that play, the build-up. When Saints made the break, you can see the claret coming out, and he's not too happy. Adam Fogarty, of course, has been well known in his boxing career. Concentrates now on rugby league. Here's the loose arm coming down. A short, sharp right, and then the headbutt. It's a bad one. Well, that certainly wasn't Jimmy Nail. It was a Liverpool job, wasn't it?
I think someone's gone here. He's gone to the back pocket, has Russell Smith.
He's got to go.
If Fogarty has been spotted, he's off. Sin bin.
Lucky boy.
Very lucky.
Well, it's all about interpretation.
And Cowie's gone as well. Both of them in the sin bin. I think that's just simply to calm the situation down.
Paul pointed out early that Tony Smith, it looks like an imminent retirement for him. Lakers come up with some pretty ordinary mistakes as Gaffey nearly goes straight up the middle of the ruck. Inside
ball line. Now they'll go back to Priddle.
Oh, how's it going?
Plenty of claret about. I saw it out the corner of my eye. It was an incident.
I don't know how it was instigated, the incident, but I'll tell you, Bruce Sinclair did not miss Priddle. Here it is here in the play of the ball. A bit of jump. Oh, there's one thrown by Priddle, but he missed and Sinclair didn't.
Is of a high comment if we isolated Gordon Tallis on his own camera. Here's a penalty coming up, and there's punches being thrown. Talking of Gordon Tallis, he's right in the middle of it. Now, little Walters, Kerrod Walters, decides to take on big Priddle. He'll need a ladder to get up and hit him.
Well, he saw Bruce Sinclair handle Priddle a couple of weeks ago. Thinks I might have a shot at him too.
Yeah, that's the smartest thing in the world. Plenty of words being mouthed out there, but I think you'll find that it was a Brisbane player at fault here in the tackle on Tallis. It's Alan Cann on the outside, Terry Madison. Alan Cann, big roundhouse there. Fortunately, it missed Tallis, but it appreciated too much, and he throws the first punch, but I do think it will be a St George penalty. Plenty of players looking to get involved. Maybe Tony Priddle will be looking to be a fairly obvious statement.
Oh, heavens above! Here's a penalty.
Get Hudson. He telegraphs it a bit.
Wake across. Mark Coyne turns it inside for Goldthorpe. He gets it to Brown. Now Maybine. Oh, that's high from McCracken. Priddle has been taken high by McCracken.
Well, the one thing about Jared McCracken, he does not hold back when he goes in. Referee saying it was up off the shoulder, so a penalty is enough of a decision, and he was right too. It did go up off the shoulder.
Waramo for Sears. Caruana, they're losing territory, actually, doing a lot of passing and losing territory. Now another fisticuff. Lyons and Sears as the ball comes away from the possession of Sears. And Clippy's on his back trying to do the best he can. Over the head. Offia falls back. And Offia's away from 1, 2. Stands in 3. Takes another headlong tackle. This time, let's see what he's going to do.
Well, he's called out the Brisbane player here for the tackle.
Alan Cann.
On off here, Alan Cann. This is an amazing piece of work here. The ease that he got out of a problem situation for himself and his side. No, that is a bad tackle.
65. So this is more than beaten that. It's absolutely smashed it. There's a punch up in back play. Fittler offloads. Bradley Clyde is put away by Mal Meninga. And now Andrew G is engaging there with Paul Harrigan.
There's two of the more aggressive customers out there. Andrew G plays very physically. Paul Harrigan, he's the one that I wouldn't be picking. You see here that Harrigan, he throws the first little 1-2. G answers in kind. Harrigan grabs Andrew G, who throws the first punch.
Interesting to see which way this one goes. Force from New South.
Sheridan back for Elias, pretty scrappy. Then Stewart, now Barnhill. Now Stewart is engaging with Darren Fritz in the back play. I don't know what happened here, but Stewart, he's about 5'6", 5'7". He's chased Darren Fritz, who's 6'5", to get a shot on him.
Well, it's not the only one going on. Ben Elias again involved in one. Ricky Stewart, ex-teammate of Darren Fritz. They both played for Canberra. No love lost there. Really, in State of Origin, you don't play faces, you play jerseys. There's Elias, and Kerrod Walters going for it on the right-hand side. Kerrod really cleaned him up. Ricky Stewart threw one from behind on Darren Fritz. I don't know what Darren did to Ricky Stewart. May have said something.
No, he just seemed to shoulder him out of the way after Ricky had unloaded the ball.
Yes, he said to cover a few yards too. Fritz knew what was happening. He ducked the head.
Just them scoreless. Play by Kevin Walters. The kick off the boot of Kerrod Walters. A nonchalant kick. And fielded in the end goal. We'll see it come out. There's a bit of trouble here. Wendell Saylor and Andrew Farrer.
Andrew Farrer's kicked out on the tackle as he took that ball. You can't really blame Wendell Saylor for going and having a go there.
It didn't seem to stem from that much, did it, really? Brett O'Mara came up with the catch. Farrer, well, he finds a little bit of laughter in the situation. It'd be a shame if this game did get heated. It's been played in good spirit, been free-flowing. Great try scored by Illawarra.
Well, Farrer did one of those things that you get on about quite often, and quite rightly so. He had no intention of playing the football. He runs across and takes Saylor out of the play.
Yeah, and he also kicks out, as Steve pointed out. You'll see it there. Bang. Yeah, I think Wendell had every right to come in.
Not like Andrew Farrer by the same token. Out of the road, wouldn't you? High tackle. This will bring a penalty. I doubt very much if it'll bring any more. Smack straight across the chin. Wilson able to get the ball away. Kevin Moore. Well, that was a tremendous tackle. The player dived off the ground. There's a punch-up going on as Dean Pay takes it to within about 8 metres of the line. Players surge in from all over the park now to separate.
Jared McCracken's one. Wonder what initiated that. Maybe Florimo had something to do off the ball with McCracken. Then you see them in the foreground there. Ooh, a little bit of an elbow thrown by McCracken. Florimo reacted to that. Oh, yeah. Well, this is going to be interesting to see which way it goes. There was some pushing and shoving. McCracken, he certainly finished on top in that encounter.
Taken in a beauty, and now it's on again.
Well, again, it was Ian Roberts coming in high. A lot of tension in this game. Both clubs realise just how important this game is. Big hit from Ian Roberts with Gillespie's help. And again, the Canterbury players came in.
The forearm is wrapped around the Adams Apple area of Darren Brett.
And since that's happened, Eastern Suburbs have found a couple of holes. Noel Solomon might be better served getting up in the front line and playing the normal defensive pattern that Taylor has adjusted them to.
Sears did well with Slomo. Sears picks it up. Oh, this has been a miracle try. Sean Hoppy gets it down. And there's a punch-up.
Well, this is silly from Sean Hoppy. He scored the try. He doesn't want to jeopardise that. But he reacted immediately. He was not happy with the tackle from Carews. Beautiful work from Greg Florimo. Matt Sears involved slice. Lovely little play on the blind side, the short side. There's Sears going to the line. Throws the ball to Greg Florimo, who steps back inside. Very close at Matt Sears. He was in line with the man. And then the pass back inside, and the simple pass to Sean Hoppy. Now let's have a look what happens here with Carews coming across. Doesn't seem to be that much, really. He threw the first one, Carews. Sean Hoppy. Let's say, really silly to get involved. And that's one of those line ball decisions. The referee could have almost called Sears offside, but he let that one play on. And luck's a fortune.
Well, without taking any gloss off the try, there's more reason to think that Matt Sears was offside than Hudson.
Now Clyde offers it out the back. Walters shovels it on. Ricky looks for a space. And they're 30 metres out as it goes back to Stewart. Oh, Stewart taken high by Jason Smith. McCallum calls him out.
Terry Lamb appealing that he hit him under the arm. All to be around the chest. That one was around the neck.
David Furness forwards. They line up. And here's another high tackle.
It's the same man, Jason Smith, and this time things could well have escalated very quickly.
Jason Smith is in the dock again. A real test for Greg McCallum's patience. I think we've still got 26. We have.
For the rest of the game, Jason Smith has got to be around the bootlaces. Next time he's gone, and you can see there straight away, I think it's Quentin Pongia.
Ninga a dummy half. Furner, a busy game by David Furner, picked up and driven into the ground, and McCallum doesn't like the tackle. I think he's okay. Watch it, was there lifting in the tackle?
20 occasions last week. Obviously, he's being told that he let him lay on the tackle player too long last week.
I don't know whether it was reverse psychology, but Tim Sheen's made a point of hold that, because McCallum comes in urgently with Ricky Stewart, and it's blood bin against John Lomax. But Tim Sheen's made a laboured point of the fact that he wasn't happy with Canterbury holding down for too long in the tackles. When for Daly, a short pass for Clyde. Clyde tackled, no gain in ground. Couple of tackles left as John Lomax pulled down on the halfway line, and the penalty has been given. Now Stewart comes in, not happy with the tackle on John Lomax.
This is really...
McCallum gets in Stewart's face now.
He's down, Lomax. This has really stung him, and he's a pretty tough character. Ricky Stewart didn't like the tackle. He rushed in 100 miles an hour, and now Tony Hearn, the man being called out by McCallum.
Well, it was a Steve that they only had to really last out one tackle. I don't know that they would have held Canberra for 6 tackles, given the situation that led up to it. Oh, Moore taken around the nose by Lomax. And Billy Moore is face down. Lomax is being called out by
He's
McCallum.
gone. He's off.
He sent him off. John Lomax has been sent off.
Well, he does sail close to the wind at times, John Lomax. Not the first time that he's come up with a high tackle. And that one, Greg McCallum has seen as a send-off offence. Moore normally doesn't stay down, and it's a pretty tough tackle.
Final there.
I think it's a tough call. Billy Moore he wasn't falling in the tackle, but he was crouching. And John Lomax came in high, but for me, that's not a send-offable offence.
Well, has it been a send-off offence in this match? Steve Roach on the sideline.
Well, I thought the Chief Carter upper up, and he was doing it very well. All those yards up the middle. There's a spear tackle now. McCallum's ruling on this one as well. Looks like Furner, the man who's been pile driven into the turf.
It'll be interesting to see whether it was Gary Larson or Tony Hearn. It was Gary Larson. The referee has seen most responsible.
He sent him off. Larson is gone.
Well, again, Mal Meninga right in the referee's face there when he was deliberating about that. Well, here it is now. He picks him up now. The problem is he's got him between the legs, and that's what the league don't want. And Gary Larson's not a malicious player, but he's paid the penalty for lifting and driving. And Tony Hearn helping there, of course. Well, he tried to help, but in the end it wasn't much of a help because he made it look worse.
Byrne again running away, but Hume gets round quickly on the scrum half. Platt finds the short side. So Widnes going backwards for a change. The Shelford hits it up. But again, 3 or 4 Widner's tacklers in. And the big man has to go on the ground. The Potter takes it. That looked high. He sent Colotto off the field. MSI Colotto fired in. And he has been dispatched from the field. No doubt in John Holdren's mind there, as Ian Potter took that ball up, Colotto flew in over the top. And with that left arm of his around Potter's head, no wonder the second row is lying prostrate on the floor. That he's already been substituted by Andrew Goodway, who's come back onto the field. Thankfully, Ian has got to his feet. As Keith Mills and Dennis Wright take the injured player off the field for some extra attention.
Too much here. O'Sullivan.
There was that long ball again, Ray, that was, you know, I'm sure they've worked on that through the week, throwing that long ball out wide. That time Andy Courier wasn't there, but, you know, it's a risky ball.
Warrington done well, and as well, considering the loss of forwards, Mike Gregory and Bob Jackson. Well, this is silly. There's no need for this game to end like this. It was an obstruction on Kevin Ellis, rightly penalised by the referee, and this is a disgrace. Well done, Andy Courier, bringing Chris Sullivan away. Tempers flirting there at the last seconds, perhaps frustration on one or two players' parts. But Mr. Smith sensibly calming things down, settling matters. And that all started out of a simple obstruction when Kevin Ellis chipped the ball through. Two touch judges obviously spotted the incidents. Andy Courier and Joe Grimmer being very, very silly. Very, very silly and shouting at the Warrington players. No need for that. Physiotherapist Eddie MacDonald pulling Grimmer away. I think Mr. Smith will rightly take his time. He wants to consult properly. He's a very firm, very strict discipline referee. And it looks as if one gentleman is going off to the sin bin. It's Kurt Sorensen. Well, Kurt Sorensen has got that rest that he wanted. Into the sin bin for punching.
2 metres away. Now, Courier gets the ball out. Jonathan Davis was hit high. Somebody could be set off. A swinging tackle from Canberra. 10 minutes in the sin bin.
It's a good ball. Surely that's a high tackle there from Sorensen. Yes, the referee's stepped in. I think he'll just have a word with Sorensen. And Kurt Sorensen's been...
Fires for Warrington. Excellent run by the centre. Brushes off a fire with the ball going loose. And in fact, there's some trouble on the far side. Des Drummond and David Hume. And in fact, all the players are getting in on this now. Well, the ball going loose when Warrington were in possession. David Hume appeared to pick up that loose ball.
I do think that the sending-offs were a bit of a... I was very disappointed at the Leeds game because we got savaged at Leeds. It was only Moriarty got done. Yet Moriarty did commit the offence, but there was about 5 instances at Leeds when it was probably 3 to them and 2 to us.
Freeman comes on to Shelford. Oh, and what about that big hit from Lewis? Oh, talk about a bone rattler. Oh, Lewis came and it just went bang on William.
Weller is a late scratching from this eastern suburb side. His running from dummy half tonight would have been very important.
There's a dust-up between Salvatore and Hay. Plenty of players jumping in. David Smith just leapt in there and hurdled nearly all of them.
Smith's got 10 minutes for coming in, and that's a very good decision.
Get to him. Taylor, that was forward.
Well, he's going to allow it.
I was sure that ball to O'Brien was forward.
And a delayed reaction here, looking for extra points after the try was scored. Players swap a couple of short punches.
We've just seen a bloke take the greatest dive, in my view. I may be doing him an injustice. I reckon it was a dive. Let's see it again. O'Doherty's over. And there he goes. Blimey, Charlie, mate, you want to get into actors' equity. That's a joke.
The wettest area on the ground, though. Turvey, Bella, Turvey, Lyons, crisscrossing everywhere. Roberts down the blind. Roberts bounces out of one. Hit over the top by Miles. Now, there was a big swinging arm on that tackle. I thought the touch judge would have seen it from that side.
See it again on the straight bank replay. Now, watch it. You're watching his head. Oh, yes, he's copped one fair and square. That was well and truly a stiff.
You would surely hear plenty more about that one. What a problem it is for Graham Lowen. Maybe his best forward. Todd, he's regained his composure. High tackle, we might be without Mark Barnes. We are. He's gone. He won't be back. Parramatta's down to 12. A sensation here. 6.5 minutes into the match. And Barnes, who went high on Gary Coyne.
Nicol decides to mount a one-man demolition job on the Hume brothers. First, Davidsfeld with that tackle. Referee Ray Tennant brandishes the red card. And Nicol wishes brother Paul a happy new year with a left hook.
John Sharp, 9 points, remains the gap then. 10 minutes, almost 11 minutes, second half gone. McNamara, oh, there's a bit of a blue behind there. Callandon, Sharp trading punches.
And they're still throwing them in.
Well, referee John Connolly, you notice, he's standing back, letting it finish. That's the directive from Greg McCallum. You don't dive in anymore.
Action, not many connecting.
Was turned villain for Wigan. Nicol went for the ball. Skerritt went for Nicol. Nicol had earlier been sin-binned, but this time referee Dave Campbell went for the red card, and it was Skerritt who saw it. He faces a disciplinary hearing and could miss the Regal Trophy semi-final against Castleford.
Crunch time, welcome to the big league. Damien Witter, his head jolted back after that tackle by Harvey Howard. He's just shook himself, but he's all right, though. Maguire and Mercer throwing punches.
Somebody's down. Maguire, Mercer went at him. He was the second man coming in. Maguire saying, anybody, come on.
Yeah, well, Maguire is pointing a finger at Ellery Hanley, and of course they played together
Oh, it was a
in
beauty.
Australia.
It was a gem. Look at that. Harvey Howard went in. Poor young Damien Witter shook his head. Full credit to the youngster. He got up, played the ball. The next time we had play, Jamie Lowes interfere, we say, with the Australian Maguire. Maguire said, here, cop that. And he did. He's got to go for this one. He slung the right arm back and let it go with vengeance.
Well, it's a question of whether the touch judge or the referee saw it. And by the looks of things, they didn't.
Well,
although
maybe
the penalty has gone to Leeds for a swinging arm.
Well, a gem. Where's the being there and there? Lowe's caught one, and in this he just went crack. Oh! Out for the...
14 ahead, but then they shot themselves in the foot. Dean Sampson pulling the trigger. That reckless high tackle on Mark Preston was duly punished with Sampson's dismissal. And there'll be more to come from the disciplinary hearing, which may put his chances of an England cap at risk. Of power shifted in the second half as Oldham were reduced to 12 men. Mike Kuiti sent off for his high tackle on Paul Carr.
Carl Barry, a high tackle. And Vila Matatia was sent off. Well, the referee might have left his cards in the dressing room, but when Mark Aston appeared to be garroted a minute later,
The ref pointed the way to the early bath again. This time Colin Maskell was the offender.
Takes it out. Here's a chance for New Zealand now. Tony Kemp across field, trying to link up. Can't get away from the support, though, from the defence there from the centres, Powell and also Gibson. Down the blind side, Tawa Nico out to big Tony Udo. He's taking on Martin O'Fire, the big centre, the big winger, rather. Ero getting pretty close, just manages to stay in. That's a good run by Tony Udo. Should give him plenty of confidence. Now Gary Schofield, but Goulding was right up on him. And Skerritt coming in there. Goulding and Freeman. Now that Goulding was unprovoked there, and he started throwing punches at Freeman, and it's on for young and old here at QE2 Park.
Well, the offence had been given, the offside decision had been made, and really both sides have got to keep their discipline. There's no need for a pile-up like this. Even if there was a battle of scrap between Freeman and Goulding, there's been pressure on these two throughout these two tests. And referee Harrigan, he's really got to get a stern grip of this match.
Now, Bobby Goulding, there it is, unprovoked, and he certainly landed one on Gary Freeman there.
Yeah, no need for that at all. And certainly, I think Bobby Goulding will be lucky here if he doesn't get sent to the sin bin.
Harrigan from Australia, only his second test match as a referee. Was the youngest ever referee to control a Sydney Grand Final. Bobby Goulding has been given 10 minutes in the sin bin, and rightly so. We saw it on the replay. He was unprovoked and landed one on Gary Freeman, which started that.
David Myers from the acting halfback trying to bury his way over, and Myers gets a try by the look of it. Has the referee given it, or it's going to be 10 minutes in the sin bin for somebody here? Coloto it is, and that could be a blow to Widnes. Coloto there, holding down. David Myers took the quick tap there, looked as though he'd got over the try line, but referee pull the players back. So Widnes down to 12 players. Northern come again with Dave Watson. Watson dummies. Had players going the wrong way there, and referee in once again. And this is something that we don't like to see. It looked as though Dave Watson was in some punishment on the floor, and Paul Dixon going in there just to help his fellow player out, and Colin Morris in very, very quickly. And the two-touch judges couldn't really see from our angle what happened, but Mr. Morris now just pulling everybody back, and obviously going to have a word with his two other officials.
Well, Paul Hume has been sent off. Well, I said anything could happen in this game. It was difficult to see what happened. Paul Hume certainly wasn't fighting by himself. There's no Bradford player being spoken to at the moment, but Emosi Coloto has just been sin-binned, and after the start that Widnes must have dreamed of, they now find themselves down to 11 players against Bradford's 13. They haven't had the ball for the past 5 minutes. David Hume has been spoken to now. There must have been a Bradford player involved. No Bradford player being spoken to about the incident, apart from the two skippers now being obviously told to calm things down. But well, the penalty will obviously go to Bradford. Well, now David Hume's been sin-binned. Well, he must have said something there to Mr. Morris instead of just nodding his head, yes sir, no sir. That's all you can do with referees when they're talking to you. You won't gain anything by arguing. And David Hume's been... And, well, this is unbelievable. The dream is turning into a nightmare for the Chemics. While Paul Hume sent off for butting there. Widnes down to 10 men, Malcolm. Amazing scenes at Norton Park.
5 in, but Dave Watson looking to bring the ball away. Drops the ball inside to Paul Newlove. Newlove gets away from one. Newlove got the strength. Newlove still going. A little bit of a high tackle there as Paul Newlove trying to get it. And the boot going in there. That was a little bit stupid by Rowan. David Fresh retaliating there, but Paul Newlove on the floor there, and that looked to me like the boot going in. And referee, once again, this game erupting, and if Colin Morris doesn't do something about it.
Then at half-time, there's the hooter. Tries from Hadley Hammond, who got 2, and Coloto, who made all the tries, was also sin-binned. David Hume was sin-binned as well, and Paul Hume was sent off. That allowed Simpson to score twice for Bradford. The referee, Mr. Morris, is being escorted off at half-time, which is unprecedented in rugby league, but he's made a few enemies here this afternoon, I think, at Norton Park. Anyway, the half-time score, Widnes 22, Bradford Northern 10.
Falling game of rugby league. It's almost like a chess match, Ross, isn't it?
Well, the side that makes the mistakes is the side that's going to be punished, and we saw that in the first half. Widnes made 2 errors, and Wigan scored the tries, and Wigan seem to be playing, playing football with no mistakes in it, and due to that, they're in front.
Edwards to Bell. Partiker gets the high ball to a fire. He's got some space. Oh, can he take Devereux on? Has to kick. Keeps playing. Good ball by Farrell. Oh, he gets it now to Farrell. Back inside to a fire. This is good rugby. Feltner. He's looking for Hampson. Is he going to tuck himself on? Oh, wonderful tackle.
That was a good tackle.
Wonderful tackle, but the touch judge is on. An off-the-ball incident. Looks to be an off-the-ball incident against Martin Offiah. He shot down the centre. Of course, referee Russell Smith was following the play. He had to keep with Clark. And Offiah obviously fouled. And who is the culprit? It looks to be Richiers. Referee Smith wants everybody away. And he's sent off. Well, Richiers dramatically here the incident.
Oh, yes. It's a mean little elbow there, and I think he deserves to be sent off. He came in very late on a fire, and it's definitely a deliberate use of the elbow, and I don't think the referee had any other decision to make on that one.
Well, he's off the red card. That's a disaster there for Richiers. He has to take that lonely trail down to Leeds. Tono cannot sit on the bench.
Yes, here it is again now. Fire's already released the ball. There's comes in, uses the elbow just as Martin was going to run past him.
Yes, there it is. The elbow hits the fire at the side of the head. No problem. Dean Bell, the skipper, he knows that. He'll hold on to this ball. Oh, a good ball there to Robinson. Cuts inside. He's got support. Oh, and this is unnecessary here. Absolutely silly. No need for these players to rush in here. It was a high tackle initially. A high tackle on Jason Robinson. Once again he was collared. Some bad blood creeping into this final here at the end. And David Hume, the experienced forward, settling things down. There is Robinson. He cuts inside.
Yes, it's a send-off offence. I think it's a deliberate stiff arm to Robinson's head. The young winger, 18 years of age, has made a good run, and Bobby Goulding, he's been fired up all afternoon, and he's been costing Widnes a lot of yardage and a lot of ball, and I think that was a deliberate stiff arm tackle, and I wouldn't be surprised if he is sent from the field.
Certainly Mr. Smith's had a hectic afternoon. He's possibly reminding Goulding that one of his colleagues, Richiers, has already been dismissed. And possibly reminding Goulding that there's not long to go.
Yes, I think he's a very lucky boy not to be sent off from that one. I'd say the fact that Richiers had already been sent off but the referee is giving him the benefit of the doubt. But as you can see from that slow motion there, it's a send-off offence, and a serious one.
Edwards. Oh, that was... who's got it off the ball tackle? It was against Jonathan Davis. He went into Sean Edwards rather high. But I think Sean Edwards will be okay. Touch judge, Mr. Spencer, spotted it. Referee Russell Smith just telling Jonathan Davis to hold off 10 or 15 yards, and here it is.
Yes, there it is. You can see he does come in late, and he has come in a little bit high. But Jonathan Davis would have to be one of the fairest and cleanest players on a football field, so it's a spur of the moment thing. But he's going to have to cop the penalty for it.
John Simon's kick-off is quite deep, considering the strength of the breeze. Willie...
Oh, Khan! He sent him off! Martin Masella has been sent off by Eddie Ward.
Yeah, it was a swinging arm too, Martin Masella. There's no excuses for that sort of tackle. It was on the same plane as his head. The right arm swung straight across the mush of Willie Khan, and he looks to be in a lot of trouble. The Broncos come straight in. Here it is. Oh, a dead set swinging arm there from Martin Masella, and it looks like Kelvin Giles ordering Willie off to the head bin.
Well, Willie Khan is probably the last person in rugby league that needed another high shot. The body bending back like an archer's bow. Rotten luck for the Brisbane Bronco.
Moriarty straightens it up.
Oh, that's a weird one. Came off his back.
Last tackle, Hagan, they're attacking this corner again with Baldwin. Baldwin over the top, off Nicol. It's play on, and it's going to be 6 to go.
Well, St. Helens was just stood there arguing with the referee, saying it was a forward pass instead of tackling.
Slip pass, Southernwood to no one. Oh, Martin knocks it on.
Well, would he have given the knock on in the first place? I think he would. Martin definitely got a hand to it in there. That's the first knock on, just to make sure. He thought he'd have another one. Well, desperation time now for St. Helens. They know they've got a pretty strong lead. They can't afford to go to sleep yet.
Not with players like Bentley on the field. Bentley and Preston both had fairly quiet games. They can score tries from anywhere. Here is Bentley. Oh, there's a couple of nuts gone in there for mine, and it suddenly erupted. And no wonder. Oh, look at the fight in the background. Goulding's involved. The referee will have to take stern action here.
Well, what on earth was John Bentley thinking about? He just lost his cool completely and started headbutting. We can do without this in our game. There's been some wonderful skills on show, and we don't want that.
I'll tell you what, there are enough officials out there to sort this out. There's the in-goal judge, there's the touch judge, but watch this. 1, 2.
I just can't believe that John Bentley could do that. Frustration, perhaps. And then, in the background, Roy Southernwood and Bobby Goulding going hammer and tong.
The referee has sin-binned Matauatia, Goulding and Bentley, I think. 3 men come off, and I think Southernwood also, so that's 4.
Tomorrow night at 8:30, you'll be seeing that big clash between the Bulldogs and Manly as Mullins comes away from his 10-metre line. And outside the 20 and out to the 30 and across it and out to the 40. Somebody pull him down.
That's the danger of kicking the football through against Canberra and coming up in a staggered line. Mark Soden kicked the football from dummy half. It really did not come down in one straight line, and that is major problems with Brett Mullins.
Hello. Steve Walters has taken exception to what happened to Ricky Stewart. box head has really gone off.
There's 10 minutes here for Steve Walters. Billy Moore makes half the tackle, then Soden comes over the top. Well, he swung a little right there. Didn't do any damage, Mark Soden, but Steve Walters took great exception. I think Soden will probably join Steve Walters in the bin shortly. There was just a little cuff from Mark Soden.
I've never seen Steve Walters explode like that.
Well,
penalty goes to Canberra. Soden stays.
Kick through just to take a little bit of sting out of the opposition defence. Here's this first scrum that we were talking about. Yeah, Sidaris is throwing the first one, and we'll have plenty involved in just a moment.
Well, they've come from everywhere like it was almost a rehearsal. Brawls have broken out. Hopewadi. He might be in his first Origin match, but Barnhill's involved. Well, we've seen plenty of this in Origin. This is one of the best. Have a look at him throw them. Barnhill's let 3 go. He still hasn't found the mark.
What about the Manly teammates, Hopewadi and Moore? Reminds a bit of Beetson and Cronin back in the first ever one.
Well, this has been the best thing. Barnhill and Billy Moore, they have thrown plenty. Trevor Gilmeister and Brad Fittler, the respective captains being spoken to.
Well, the pipeline finally got it right. We were told by the pipeline that this would be on in the first scrum of State of Origin 1. They got it wrong by about 16 days. Have a look at it on replay. Danny Moore said, "Excuse me, Matt Singh, I'll take over here." So they both go for John Hopewadi, the young Tongan. He didn't miss a beat, though.
Oh, I'll tell you what, he showed better form than Matty Singh.
What about the fly on Hopewadi's back in the form of Singh?
I told you to be a Queensland penalty. It's gone straight to New South Wales.
You're a good judge. High camera there. Barnhill hung out an arm. He's okay, very good. Encouragement from Jason Smith. And so Queensland now, they take it down to the New South Wales 30-metre line. And Allen was hit by Harrigan. He left nothing behind Harrigan. Bartram. And they go into battle behind the play. Allen and Harrigan, the 2 heavyweights, packing plenty of punches.
Yeah, we'll see someone in the bin here. He's got to take some action, the referee, Eddie Ward, and get some control out there. Some frustration starting to sneak in this New South Wales side. And Queensland, they won't back away from anything. Look at the scoreboard and they look at the series situation. They're travelling.
Bit of niggle in the tackle there from the Chief, and Gavin Allen's responded. More blood for Big Jet. He's in the bin. I think he's got the same cut.
Gavin would have been heading for the blood bin anyway, but he's in the sin bin, and I think the Chief might be going with him. He is.
Now, it'll be interesting to see which way this penalty goes, because New South Wales cannot afford to have any more points scored against them. It goes towards Queensland's favour now. In fact, New South Wales get the penalty here, so we've got 12 on 12, and Fittler laying down the law to his troops.
Say that it should have been 18. Well, it should have been 20 to 12. Wishart should have kicked 3 goals, and Daly didn't get credited for it. You understand the logic? 20 to 12.
18-6.
There's a Barney. It's on.
Matty, you've instigated this again.
You put a few blues together this week, Batman.
No, not me. It's something to come from very little. Is off the ball.
Off the ball. The play the ball there, I think it was DeVico. And one of the Steelers involved first up. Someone's got a cramp there. You can see their boot up in the air. Callaway.
Yeah, if ever a blue bloke broke out, I used to fall on the ground. Here's the play the ball. Push from Callaway. He's grabbed. And then just a little scrappy start to the ball. Nothing too much in it, although DeVico does land a couple.
What about those?
Yeah.
Let's a dig. Oh, intercepted. Lyons came out of the line. He goes out to the 40. Terry Hill supports him, and Hill is tackled. 3 metres into
Brisbane's area.
Well, I can't believe Brisbane didn't take the kick at goal as Lions looks on the blind side for Matthew Ridge. Brisbane defence getting back. It'll be a penalty. And we'll have a touch charge in now for a high tackle by Julian O'Neill. And here we go. It's on again.
Well, it's almost become commonplace this week in rugby league. It's still going on in there, but now the flames are subsiding.
Ridge put in a strong tackle. That was Andrew G, not Alan Cann. Nick Kosef wasn't too impressed. Plenty of players looking to get involved.
Both won't come back now. That's Tamati and Dowling have gone off in the sin bin for 10 minutes.
They'll get all the hot water, Darryl.
Dowling having a fair bit to say, and Tamati, well, he's got a smile on his face, and they're still arguing as they go out the door. Dowling is giving him a shove. The fingers are going. They might carry this on in the shower room. Dowling's and it's on again. It's on again. Dowling gave him one. Tamati came back, and this is disgusting. Really, they're fighting now right in front of the crowd off the field of play. The teammates are going out. That's McGowan, the captain. He wants to try and stop it. Referee is saying, get back here. We'll fix this.
McGowan's got to be stupid. It's got nothing to do with the referee. They're off the paddock. It's a police job now.
Paul Harrigan and Andrew G are going like two heavyweights, and Harrigan let go about 5 or 6. Well, there's no love lost between these two. G got Harrigan early with a high shot.
Yes, it's not the first time that they've come together, and I would imagine that both of these players will be dispatched to the sin bin. Paul Harrigan has got personal out there a couple of times this afternoon, and that's not a good thing. There he is, a swinging arm, little push from G. Paul Harrigan did land the 3 or 4. I would say we'll see both of them leave the field. Here's Harrigan getting 10 minutes now. He's off to the sin bin. Great season, represented this year. He'll need to even lift his work rate a little bit more. His partner in crime, Brent Stewart, not in this match. Some more responsibility on young shoulders.
Brown kicking. There's a bit of a push and shove goes on in the back. Bradley and Billy Dunn, they decide to go on with it as the ball goes into touch. Well, they were pushing and shoving for half an hour. Now they've been throwing punches for a number of minutes. I doubt that the referee will get the identity wrong today, but the big centre for St George is in the middle of this one.
Well, probably wishing he had the headgear on as well. A simple start to this once again, as it generally is. Just a push out there from Bradley. Dunn didn't like the push. Bradley holds on. A few words. Well, I don't think too many did much damage.
See, the size of the man, is it any wonder? Oh, a high tackle on Nathan Long.
So,
trouble. It is Owen Cunningham, I believe. He's gone. And he's been sent off. It is Owen Cunningham who's been given his marching orders for a high tackle on Nathan Long. No hesitation from referee Kelvin Jeffs. This is the send-off.
A clumsy tackle there by Owen Cunningham. Normally the safest of defenders. The arm right up around the head of Nathan Long.
Now, Nicow. Hard to tell. Now, Nicow on his back decided to put a hand in the face of Gillespie, who retaliates.
I think that's a little bit of a get square from the big hit Nicow put on David Gillespie only a couple of moments ago. Matthew Ridge coming in, having a chat with Nicow. Nicow cleaned him up in the first half as well. A very strong hit from Gillespie. It was no surprise to see his number be involved in it. Bang. Drives him, puts him down. And just a little slap from Nicow. A couple of punches from Gillespie.
Just wondering if the touch judges have seen the first incident.
It is coming across the ground more so than down the ground. But what opposition there is into Manly's face in the first half. Kosef was in front of the kicker when they started, but Manson allowed that to go. And Newcastle with first use of the football. 15 metres away from their own line, Adam Muir it was. And there's a punch-up! Carroll and Harrigan! It was predicted! And they came from everywhere. Well, Carroll and Harrigan, they've set two in the first exchanges.
And the little right still being thrown, even though Paul Harrigan is on the ground. He went through as a decoy runner. Robbie McCormack almost guilty of an obstruction, a shepherd. And the Chief, the eyes are wide open. Manson getting in between the players. He's really keen to go on with it, the Newcastle captain.
Well, the New South Wales and Australian teammates there, they haven't let anything hold back, have they? Chief's still going on. He's a few York Kittens in there to the referee, to someone.
It'll be very interesting to see which way the penalty goes here. Newcastle with the football. It will be an ordinary start if they give away a penalty in front of their post when they've had possession, and they're still talking out there. Referee will be tempted to put these blokes in the bin just to settle the occasion down. I hope that's not the case. We want 13 on 13 out there for as long as possible. I've got a feeling that the next tackle will have a fair bit of venom in it as well.
Well, the pundits were writing about it. It suggested that they were great buddies off the field, but there's no love lost on the field. And that's what happened. Harrigan ran the decoy. Carroll took him out with a shoulder.
And Carroll did throw the first punch. So by looking at that, you'd think that Newcastle would get a penalty in their own quarter, and all the rest of the boys just joined in for a bit of fun.
And the Manly side so late, after his pulling out today and having the goal-kicking duties.
Oh! Harrigan has gone after Carroll!
He's in some trouble.
He hasn't moved.
Harrigan!
And Carroll's got plenty to say. He's just got to back away, Carroll, and just say nothing.
Well, Harrigan set himself like a missile. And he zeroed in on Mark Carroll. Carroll's blowing up. Harrigan was on his back. Here it is again.
Right. See, that was a hit and a half.
Good game, isn't it?
Unfortunately, the tackles come off the worst from where
You've got to admire Paul Harrigan's bravery, his courage.
Now, it's Matthew. Ainscough. Oh! Herman! Taken out high by Terry Hill. He hung an arm out. It was all happening so fast. Reflex action by Terry Hill.
I just wonder if he's going to be sent here. Manson Way's gone! Oh, no!
Well, can you believe it? It's his first game back from suspension as well. Terry Hill, it was reflex. The pass from Ainscough trying to pick up his winger Herman on the inside, and Hill just hung the arm out. He didn't miss him.
Oh, that's a tragedy, honestly, for Terry Hill. He's played a great game tonight. Here it is again. Wide now, still Matty Singh.
Oh, there's a high tackle. This could be off, is it? Danny Moore. McBlain.
Queensland teammates. Danny Moore, he's got him high. Matty Singh's up and about now. He wouldn't want Danny Moore to be sent off, that's for sure.
I feared for Danny Moore the moment he put the arm out.
Go field again to Kemp, and Kemp sidesteps his way to the halfway. Camilo is hauled down around the neck, and Asa Amoni, his first touch in the big league, is not the best.
see that again. Right over the top, grabbing the shirt collar. He won't be sent off, I feel. It was a grab on the collar. Looked really bad.
Referee is going to the pocket. Is this going to be a disastrous start to his big league season? It is. Asa Amoni has been on the field 5 minutes. He's put in one tackle and he's sent off. Hassan trying to break through the tackles again. There's Paul Cook. 10 out of 10. He's looking at the scoreboard. He knows now that this game is well and truly in the Leeds pocket. Fossard takes a high one. There could be someone else on a walk here.
He's got to. If he sent the other guy off, he's got to send that one. And that was even worse than it saw Asa Amoni off.
Fossard went bravely in on 3. And a swinging arm came over the top. You could hear it from up here.
Look at that. Rowley went with intent. Now, if it doesn't go for this...
I think he's going to put him on report. He's bringing the captain and the touch judge on, and he will go on report, and that view will be taken to the Rugby League Disciplinary Committee, and they will decide whether Paul Rowley has a case to answer.
Why?
Well, the referee's not sure, obviously.
He was sure on the first one, but now he's not sure. Everyone here in the ground, so it's malicious. Look at that.
Moriarty was there too.
Penalty. They go ahead, and the Bulldogs, the attack snuffed out by Mark Coyne on Bullamatta. Hetherington, here's the call to the right by Darren Britt. One of the Canterbury players has been poleaxed. Let's have a look at this on replay.
Penalty will go to the Sydney Bulldogs here. Robert Ralph looming up in support. Oh, Gordon, tell us. Well, he hasn't been sent off or put in the bin, but he's been chastised by the referee. Look at the determination on Tallis's face.
So the penalty has gone to the Sydney Bulldogs. And Tallis, he may still have come out of this second best. The brawl erupted at the scrum. Eddie Ward's gone with the football. He's let them play on. 10 metres out from the Bulldogs line. They're still fighting in the back play. Tallis is letting them go. St. George go to the right. They try to keep it alive. Halligan's come up with it. Bulldogs off their own line through Dimmock. The fight still goes on.
Oh, it's out over the touchline now. Tallis has just thrown 49,000 right crosses.
This has gone longer than the heavyweight title already. They've been blowing for how long now?
Oh, minute 20. Well, it was from the scrum. It had all died down, and when Ralph and Tallis stood up and went toe-to-toe, they went whisker for whisker, and Tallis got right on top. The original scrum, the play goes wide. Oh, there it is. Robert Ralph threw the firstie, and then he got Brown as well. So he's the instigator, no doubt about it.
I think it'd be long odds that they'll be able to identify Robert Ralph, though.
Well, he's got the noseband on.
So it went on, and on, and on.
Well, we're going to be short in numbers after this one. A couple of incidents involving these players. The referee will take action, no doubt.
Robert Ralph, he's been called over for the first time. No doubt that the number 11 owned the swinging fist. It was aimed at Nathan Brown's nose. Now, he's put him in the sin bin. Gordon Tallis to the sin bin, and Dean paid.
Well, Bradford with the fillip of that try, gifted to them by Carl Hammond. When he dropped the ball, he was in there tackling Knox, and Matautia comes steaming in, and oh dear, that looked high from here, and high it was.
That was a bad one. He lined him up, lit the fuse, and exploded. It's way past bonfire night, but this would have brought it. That is a bad one. Right over the top.
Now a big decision here for the referee, Steve-O.
Oh, it was a bad one.
He's gone to the pocket. He's got to be off. It's got to be red. It's got to be a red card if he's going to the pocket.
He's got to go.
He's off. Matautia, the hero a few moments ago when he crashed over for the try. But that was a high tackle on Eugene Bourneville, and the referee right.
Crunch time, no doubt about it. Right across the neck. That is dangerous.
Well, Pickham, that's a great run and a super tackle from Hassan. The run was from Cunningham. Hammond, as he fell, Northey could be in trouble.
It was a reaction arm coming out wide. Will the referee deem that the man was going low? No, it was pretty high. Northey will swing in. And the mood that Russell Smith is in, it could be red card time. That is just as bad.
He's gone for the pocket. Northey's off. Russell Smith is consistent. Northey sent off. St Helens are now down to 11 men.
That deserved the red card.